You unlock your classroom door early in the morning, not because you love arriving early, but because today, like every day, you are teaching him, the son of the most feared man in the neighborhood. You place your bag on the desk and look around the room. 30 chairs, whiteboard, old textbooks, a clock that ticks a little too loudly. Everything looks normal. But you know something about this class that makes it very different. One of your students is the child of a gang leader, and that changes the atmosphere, whether anyone admits it or not. You start preparing the lesson. Today it's mathematics. Simple algebra. You write the first problem on the board. Your handwriting is neat, calm, professional. Inside your mind, you are running a completely different lesson. Lesson number 1, stay calm. Lesson number 2, treat every student the same. Lesson number 3, do not overthink things. Because here is a fact many people don't realize. Teachers in some schools regularly teach students whose families are involved in serious crime. Not because the school wants that, but because schools teach everyone who lives in the area. Education does not choose families. Education accepts them. You hear footsteps in the hallway. Students start arriving. Backpacks drop onto desks. Someone laughs loudly. Someone complains about homework. Someone asks if today there will be a test. The usual chaos of high school. Then he walks in. The student everyone quietly watches. Let's call him Marcus. Marcus walks like he owns the floor. Not rude. Not aggressive. Just confident. He sits down near the middle of the room. Expensive sneakers. New phone. Calm face. You greet him like you greet everyone else. Good morning. He nods. Morning. And just like that, class begins. Here is something interesting that teachers often learn quickly. Students with intimidating reputations are not always the worst students. Sometimes they are surprisingly quiet. Sometimes they behave better than others. Why? Because attention brings trouble. And many kids from difficult backgrounds learn very early how to read a room. You begin the lesson. Open your notebooks. Students start writing. Marcus writes too. But the class atmosphere is slightly different. Other students glance at him sometimes. Not constantly, but enough for you to notice. You continue teaching. All right, who can solve this problem? Silence. Typical classroom silence. Then Marcus raises his hand. You pause for a moment. Not because you doubt him, but because the whole class just noticed. Yes, Marcus? He stands up and walks to the board. Solves the equation. Correct. You nod. Good work. The class murmurs. And suddenly the tension drops a little. Because the scary kid just did algebra. That's the funny thing about classrooms. Sometimes mathematics is the great equalizer. 2 plus 2 does not care who your father is. The morning moves forward. But being a teacher means you notice small details. Marcus rarely talks about his family. He never mentions his father. But sometimes other students whisper things. Stories travel fast in schools. Someone claims they saw expensive cars outside Marcus's house. Someone says his uncle runs a business that isn't exactly normal. You ignore gossip. Teachers must focus on facts. And the only fact that matters in your classroom is this. Marcus is a student, just like everyone else. Still, you remain careful. Schools today follow strict safety procedures. Many schools have cameras, security staff, locked doors, and emergency drills. Teachers are trained for situations like lockdowns. If danger ever appears, the rule is simple. Lock the door. Turn off lights. Keep students quiet and away from windows. It's a serious system designed to protect everyone. But today, thankfully, the biggest danger is boredom, which is why you add a little humor. You say, all right, class, if anyone solves the next question, you get 1 minute less homework. Suddenly everyone becomes a mathematician. Hands shoot up everywhere. Even Marcus smiles. Because nothing motivates teenagers like avoiding homework. Lunch break arrives. Students rush to the cafeteria. You sit in the teacher lounge. Other teachers ask the usual question. How's your class? You shrug. Pretty normal. Which is the strange truth. Teaching the child of a gang leader is not constant drama. Most days are just school days. Homework. Tests. Teenagers complaining about waking up early. But there are moments when reality appears. One afternoon, Marcus arrives late. You ask calmly, everything okay? He shrugs. Family stuff. That's all he says. And you don't ask more. Because experienced teachers know something important. Many students carry heavy stories. Divorce. Money problems. family conflict, or in Marcus's case, a father whose reputation makes life complicated. School might be the only place where Marcus is just another teenager. So you keep teaching. Afternoon class begins. You start group work. Students discuss problems in small teams. And something interesting happens. Marcus starts helping another student, explaining equations slowly, patiently. You watch quietly. There's another fact people rarely talk about. Some students who grow up around tough environments develop strong leadership skills. They learn confidence early. They learn how to speak clearly. Sometimes those skills, surprisingly, help in the classroom. The bell rings. School day almost finished. Students pack bags. Noise fills the room again. Marcus approaches your desk. You prepare for anything. A complaint. A question. Maybe nothing. Instead, he says something simple. Thanks for explaining the homework earlier. You blink, then nod. No problem. And he leaves. You sit there for a moment. Because teaching is strange like that. You begin the day expecting tension, expecting difficulty, expecting fear. But many days, the reality is just a teenager trying to learn. You erase the board, clean the desks, stack papers. Outside the sun is setting. Students walk home. Cars fill the parking lot. Somewhere in the city, Marcus returns to a complicated world. But for a few hours today, he was just a student solving algebra, and you were just his teacher. Tomorrow morning the alarm will ring again. You will unlock the classroom again, write equations on the board again, and Marcus will walk in again, maybe with new sneakers, maybe with unfinished homework, maybe with a joke. But inside that classroom, for 1 hour, everyone follows the same rule. Learn something new. And honestly, that might be the most powerful thing a classroom can do. That was a glimpse into another life. If you're curious to see more, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.